Kelly's sword splattered against the ground as the horned demon laughed, a rasping, high-pitched roar climbing the scales that could have made a hardened soldier's blood curdle and be heard as far as Washington, D.C. What the heck were the 4 or the 3 of us who were visible to do now? Not sit on our asses for sure. I pushed my hands to the floor to jump to my feet. Too late. I realized my mistake. I forgot my bleeding finger. Even this far from the kerosene lights, I could see the splayed imprint of the fingers of my right hand against the floorboard, a jagged outline of blood from my still-bleeding finger clearly visible. I'd just given the demons permission to break the containment circle. "Watch out!" I shouted, slamming forward, unarmed. "They're free!" Too late. The laughing one had already swooped toward Mandy, who was whirling and slashing as if she'd been in sword fights all her life. Jaylene swore and attacked the 2 demons still wavering in the circle. Go Amazon! I rushed toward Kelly's sword, only to trip and fly face first onto the floor beneath the nearest demon, the one with the snapping jaws, who gaped down at me, looking as surprised as I was. At least I thought his expression was surprise and not, oh yippee-ki-yay, a snack. I'd forgotten that just because I couldn't see Kelly didn't mean she wasn't there. Idiot. Dead idiot if I didn't do something. Kelly's sword was out of my reach as I rolled away from a massive clawed paw slamming the floorboards beside me. The 2-tailed demon was no longer off guard and no longer immobilized, but it would be, I thought, as I rolled onto my back, pulled my knees toward me, and thrust my feet out, hoping what I aimed for was a set of very large demon balls. Being raised with brothers taught me where males were most vulnerable, and not to hold back when in a brawl, especially a life-or-death one. A blood-curdling scream rattling my eardrums told me I'd guessed right. Score 1 for Noziak. The demon curled in on himself, not enough to be out of commission, but enough for me to clamber to my knees and slam a shoulder into the backside of the nearest other demon knee, the demon Jaylene battled. It faltered, but that was all. My shoulder would be black and blue for a week. Now I knew how David fighting Goliath felt, but at least he'd had a slingshot. 2-Tail Monster was straightening, looking as pissed off as an echo demon could. He released another bone-rattling scream and lunged toward me. The only place for me to back away was deeper beneath the shark-toothed one Jaylene fought. But if I scuttled too far beneath it, I risked Jaylene slashing me. Not far enough, and I could be smashed by one of 2-Tail's hammer tails or his reaching claws. "Alex!" Kelly screamed my name from somewhere outside the circle as I saw a sword sliding across the floor my way. I just hoped Kelly wasn't attached to it. I turned, curled, and lunged, as if heading for home plate with a third out hanging in the balance. My grab for the sword was clumsy, but I wasn't going for style points as I grabbed and thrust the slicing sword's edge toward the nearest green. It proved to be the leg of the 2-tailed monster that wanted me. Bad. Take that and that. Yeah, I sounded like a cartoon character, but if I could shout, I could still breathe as I slashed right and left, aiming for tendons or joints or anything that would topple this monster. I fought from the floor and then my knees. The team's martial arts instructor was going to rake me over the coals for my sloppy control. If I lived. "Mandy!" I heard Jaylene scream somewhere to my right. "Get up!" Not sounding good. And all my slashing and hacking was like dismantling a California redwood with a butter knife. Only this dude was yucky green, and grinning as if it knew whatever I did was in vain. Think, Noziak, think. But with an echo demon bearing down on me, thinking was the last luxury I had. I slammed the sword hard enough into the monster's foot to earn another roar and vibrations up my arm as the blade bit into the floorboard beneath the beast. Damn! "Noziak, roll away!" a voice shouted. Male. Must be Stone. Thank God, the cavalry had arrived.